Now you can.
My question about Ben Kueter. Well, unless someone else has a standout they want to talk about first, but I think that's really a huge question. This guy went to Iowa. He was supposed to wrestle and play football. He's been very adamant that he wants to do both, and now he is qualified for a team that the day of U20 Worlds, it's during football season. So
yeah, I don't know what the plan is there. I thought, in talking to people around Iowa, the plan sounds like they fully expect him to wrestle at Worlds, but how that gets dealt with the football schedule, I'm not sure. He's gonna have to make a choice there because I don't. And maybe the football team will let him, make that decision and be gone for a couple weeks and then come back. It doesn't sound like for this year Ben is going to be on the football depth chart or like going to see a lot of playing time. So maybe they say, hey, well, you can go do this for a couple weeks and come back and whatever. But
what does that mean for his training situation, though, leading up to it?
That's exactly. Because it's, great point. I didn't even consider that because he needs to be, if he's going to win Worlds, he needs to be
in the wrestling room.
Practice wrestling. Yeah, I don't know what he does. I don't know. But it's a tough position he's in, no doubt about it.
Were you impressed with Kueter this weekend?
I was. I thought.
You thought it was an uphill battle.
Yeah, I know. That got thrown in my face. Like, uphill. I mean, listen. People can go up hills. I
never go uphill, me boys.
Yeah. Never mind. Wow. I don't know if I can navigate that one without. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I did think it would be tough, but man, how small he is I thought it would be more of a thing. And it's crazy how many of those big guys, and he wrestles some big, I mean, Sahakian's huge, Mullen's big, Addo is how we're saying it. Okay. They're all way, way bigger than Ben. And they all were like, let me muscle this dude around. And they really couldn't do it. They really had a hard time moving him around and imposing their will. And
Mullen hit that one cool double under foot tap.
That's how he pinned Sahakian at the Open. So Mullen's a good athlete, but Kueter is just on a different level athletically than these guys. And I feel like once he realizes that, that's going to be the case in like 95% of all the matches he wrestles collegiately. He could be like not just a one takedown to none, match winner. He can be like a Feldman, a Snyder type of guy in terms of not that he's going to be an Olympic champion, all that necessarily, but a guy that can get a lot of takedowns on guys that are way less athletic and mobile than him. That was my view, but I didn't see that consistently throughout the tournament either, that he was like firing, but it felt like every time he shot, like he was finishing. He's really efficient. Like they weren't able to punish his attacks much at all. I was really impressed with Ben.
It'd be great is if, for wrestling fans, is if after Greg clears out, Feldman and Kueter are just like the next big heavyweight rivalry.
That would be a really fun rivalry for sure. I'd love to see that. Super athletes, great wrestlers. Yeah, I hope that's the case. And I think for Iowa, man, if you're Iowa wrestling, anything you can do to, I mean, it's got to be contentious with football, but I don't know, contentious is the word, but you got to start trying to pull him more over. You cannot have a guy. I do not believe you can win a national title in the sport of wrestling if you start practice every year in January. I don't think so. And it's like, it's not, he's going from football to wrestling. I just don't know if that's possible. And I think they need a national champion. It may not this year, but eventually.
Some people can do it. Like some people are just that level of athlete.
I think Ben can be a national champion wrestler in the NCAA. I don't think he can do it if he plays football July through January.
Did you think he can be a national?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But
I thought you said you don't.
I think he can be. I don't think he can if he starts practicing in January every year.
Okay.
That's what I think. The margins are too narrow to give that much training time off. Maybe he can make it work, but I'm dubious. I think that's really, there's no precedent for it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to see Kueter be a little more aggressive and active this weekend. He won, so, tip of the cap. I'm not trying to take him down a peg or anything, but kind of like you were saying, it seemed like he was the best wrestler. So go out there and put it away, be the best wrestler, get in exchanges. And I thought he was maybe wrestling those bigger guys kind of in their wheelhouse, letting a towel kind of get to underhooks, go upper body, let Mullen jack you up a couple times, clear out the tie, work from space, get to your attack, your low-level shot. Just would have liked to see that a little bit more from him.